Reda. Shout out to Lo. You know what I'm saying? Good evening, ladies. How y'all doing?
Good
Pretty
evening.
good.
Yes,
Good
yes, yes.
evening.
Reda, let me go with you first, though, because we look at you as the proprietor. Can I say that? You're the orchestrator, the magistrator. Oh, WOTY, can I say that?
If you want to say that, absolutely.
So we on what, year 4, right?
Correct.
So we got 2020. We had Vixen winning that. 2021 Coffee, and last year Jazz the Rapper, right?
Correct.
Judges, or talk to me this year about the judges. The same status quo from a couple of years, or
When you say judges, do you mean the
I
people on
mean
the panel?
the panel for WOTY, pardon me.
I've been adding in new people. I had Sarah Connor on, and I also had Nikki Knowledge on. So I've been adding somebody into the mix. Shout out to Tata. She is now a part of our core group.
My baby
Um,
Tata.
Yeah, that's all. That's family.
she's definitely a part of the core group right now. But I've been adding, more people on and just kind of testing, like, what people want, right? These are things the fans want. We want to see a battle rapper on, Sarah Connor. We want to see another female who does media that's not really in the limelight, so to speak, right? And so, not that Nikki necessarily does media, but she is very heavily involved in the culture. She's at a lot of events. She knows a lot of battle rappers. So I said, let me bring Nikki on and see, what she brings and offers to the panel and to the people, just trying different things. So this year, again, we will see somebody new. I will announce that. It's going to be very
Okay.
exciting. I feel like everybody's going to be very happy with it. Some people might not really rock out with this person, but hey, it is what
Oh
it is.
boy, I think I know who it is. I'm not gonna say the name, but when you go in that caveat, I think I know who it is.
No,
Now,
you don't. No, you don't.
no, I don't. I'll text you later. You let me know if it's that person, right? I'll text you later. You let me know. Now, here's the thing about both of you ladies that I respect about you ladies. Both of you ladies been on platforms where it's dominated by a lot of guys y'all sit next to, right? But guess what? Y'all are just as good as those niggas that talk battle rap and shit. You know what I'm saying? I've seen Lo go to war with her brothers and shit like that. Right on the timeline. You know what I'm saying? I've seen your champion with Black, your husband, and Mark and them and everybody like that. You know what I'm saying? Should there be a mixed gender, ladies? Both of you guys, let me go to you first. With WOTY and Cody, where a man could be on a panel for WOTY and vice versa.
Um, I actually got invited to do champion this year. I actually just couldn't do it. So I'm not personally against a man being a part of the panel as long as he knows what he's talking about. Just like I want anybody else on the panel to know what they're talking about. I do think that having a man's perspective and a woman's perspective sometimes on the same topic can help. I'm not saying that a woman being added to the panel for like Cody this year could have made it better or worse or whatever, but
Mm.
I'm not against it. There's a few guys that I think may be a good addition for WOTY. You know what I'm saying? If that's the route Rita wanted to go, as long as they know what they're talking about. I mean, you can come up there and not know what you're talking about. It ain't gonna go over well. So. It ain't gonna go over well. So I mean,
Right.
I can't make you know what you supposed to know. But if you know what you're talking about, yeah, why not?
Well, Rita, you're probably the best person to ask this too, because you're the one out there scouting these people like Lo and stuff like that. Are you
um,
opposed? Or
I've been honest about this in the past and saying that I wanted a male on the panel the first year. It's difficult though to get a yes from anybody for either panel.
right.
Um, the core people are always going to be like, yes, I'm down because they're prepared. They know what to do, year in and year out. However, it's difficult to get a yes. That's all I'll say.
It's difficult. Okay. All right.
Don't nobody really want to face that type of. It's easy to go on the timeline and tell the timeline your opinion. It's different to actually take a real stance and sit on that panel and debate with other people that's taking a stance and having to stand on what you feel and having to have everybody be mad one way or another because we know how that go. It take a lot. It take a lot of courage to know you just gonna be in a blender no matter what, and everybody not willing to do that. But and I respect it. I honestly
Hmm.
respect it because I mean I'm in this situation now, but boy, I want
Like
to do what
it's
I
the backlash at the end, and not that we don't get love at the end of the situation, because everybody is shown endless amounts of love.
do.
Right.
But then on the flip side of that, there's a yin and a yang. So there's also a endless amount of hate and disdain, and I shouldn't even say hate. It's more so just confusion, disdain, or not understanding, things like that tend to happen. So you get both sides of it, but people don't want to deal with the one side of it.
Or is it because both you ladies don't give a fuck?
I mean, see, that's the thing. Like, at the end of the day, I'm gonna stand on what I say. That's the thing. It's like I don't speak on a lot, but if I'm gonna speak on something, I feel like I'm gonna stand on it. If I'm not opposed to other people's opinion, I'm not opposed to you want to discuss my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I don't really debate a whole lot, so I gotta kind of respect you. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I don't mind my opinion being questioned. It's just about the way, you know what I'm saying, we go about it. But if I feel a certain type of way, the first year on the WOTY panel, it was 4 against 1. I felt how I felt. The ladies felt how they felt. I said, we should just call it a truce. Like, we gonna have to agree to disagree. You know what I'm saying? And I think that Reda's the same way. Willing to listen, but if she got an opinion, she willing to stand on her opinion.
Listen, man, you from Detroit, you from Philly, man. This is y'all different monsters. Y'all don't give a shit. Y'all don't want to say it and keep y'all be nice and everything. Y'all don't give a shit. Y'all get mad if y'all wanted to. We don't give a fuck. We're doing our job. It is what it is. That's how I feel. How y'all come off in it. Why is it so intense with the ladies, though? Y'all think though? Because it be intense with y'all, man. Ooh.
I think when men watch women discuss topics heatedly, y'all just automatically think that means we want to kill each other. It just seemed that way. We got a lot of different emotions. A lot of our mouths slick. We all from different real cities, urban cities. We grew up in public education. You know what I'm saying? We in a man sport. We can't be soft. You know what I'm saying? So when we say what we say, we got to stand on that.
Wow. That's a fact. I think I was going to say that people hear about this amount of women sitting together at a table to debate, and when you think about that, it's like, oh, it might be a cat fight. We might hear some slick talk. We might hear, So, but I also think that adds to the viewership and things like that. It keeps the panel interesting every year. Just knowing, like, I know this person probably is going to have this person here, so I can't wait till they get into this debate, or little things like that. And eventually we do get to a point where it gets heated. So we definitely got our times in the past where it's gotten a little heated and things, but that's the entertainment portion of it, and people love it. So I think that's people just have that image of a cat fight when they hear 5-6 women sitting down about the debate.
Yeah.
Lo, how I like last year how you and Miss Miami, how you had a conversation. I think it was on Angry Fan Show. You had a back and forth, and I commend you because I love the way how you handled that. You wasn't crazy. You stayed yourself. You were mad mellow. You got your shit off. You wasn't trying to be combative and everything like that and stuff like. And like you said earlier, ladies, that is hard to sit there and talk to somebody about you're critiquing them and you're giving them a reason why you felt they should be in a pecking order of WOTY and stuff like that. How tough is that though?
See, like with Miss Miami, she didn't necessarily. I feel like battle rappers' feelings get hurt. You know what I mean? We all human, so I think it's hard for them to be critiqued on stuff. She didn't necessarily have an issue with where I placed her or anything like that. It was more so what I described that I thought could improve her performance, and she was offended, or she felt the kind of way. She like, I thought we were cool. I'm like, we are cool. I'm telling you how I truly feel. I'm not trying to even disrespect you. Right. That's why another thing, like, I'm willing to listen to her. She's a person, you know what I'm saying, with feelings. I'll discuss your work up here on WOTY. I should be able to listen to what you got to say about how you felt about what I said. You know what I'm saying? And if I offended her, I'm never trying to offend them. You know what I mean? Like, when we get up there and we try to be careful about how we describe things. But sometimes, you're not as articulate as you would like to be, and you're trying to get your bars off, and things don't necessarily get articulate
in the heat of the moment.
In the heat of the moment. So it's like the first year, it's crazy. I just told Black on Caffeine, like, I'm so happy that not as many people tuned in or was as concerned with WOTY the first year, because it was so much more genuine in the way that we just said how we felt, and we didn't really care. I don't know what we were expecting after, but it wasn't a whole lot. We went into the second year and even the third year a lot more reserved. And they hated that, but it was like, no, the little bit of last year, like how we didn't let it all hang out, but you know what I'm saying? It got a little crazy.
Right.
Now I don't think they would be able to handle that conversation that we had the first year. Like if we have that conversation the same way this year, oh my God, I think they wouldn't be able to handle that. It was so much more just saying how we felt before we even articulated it a proper way. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Do you think the other, because you guys are kind of the vocal ones I felt last year, Reda, you, and Do, right? I felt like y'all were the vocal ones. Do you think the other ladies should be more vocal as y'all, though? Because I felt they were getting, I don't want to use the word chastised, but they got people looking at them and kind of feeling some type of way that they were more vocal. They didn't give an explanation on why X, Y, and Z.
I can't agree with that, right? Because I feel like Tata is extremely vocal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. She's very vocal.
Absolutely.
When Tata has a point to prove, she's very vocal about it. I feel like when Cece has a point to prove, she's very vocal about it. So there are, I mean, I feel like the panel is very vocal. I feel like people would like to see a different dynamic in a sense. They want to see they want to see us kind of go around the table and like list accolades and, you know, things like that. And unfortunately, this is not just like an award show where it's like, hey, we're here to just give props. We have to throw everything in that blender and average out everything. So everything is going to get spoken about. Everybody may not want to debate points. There may be a debate between me and Lo that, you know, everybody else feel like they need to stay out of to see how it go until we get finished dropping our facts down and whatnot. And then everybody can pick a side. You know what I mean?
Good point, Rita. Good point.
From after that healthy debate goes down. So it's just, I feel like everybody is vocal on the panel. It's just,
it depends on our personalities too.
Good point.
Some of our personalities are a little more dominant than others. You know what I mean? So we all have every year collectively said we need to do a better job at letting everybody speak. It's not, sometimes it may not be that a person didn't have an opinion. They may just didn't get a chance to dominate the conversation. Right. Because we all got dominant personalities, you know what I'm saying? And when we want to prove a point, sometimes we talk over each other. That's something we're going to try to work on. Every year we try to work on that. But I think that everybody has a strong opinion when they sit down at the table. Some people it's hard to have a debate with 6 women at the same time and be as articulate as your notes said.
Right.
Because your notes might have the whole thought like well planned out. And when you get up there, you forgot like a big chunk of it because you're having an active debate. So sometimes it's about how well you prepare, you know, how much you look over your notes. But I think everybody has a strong opinion for the most part and is able to articulate it. Just depends on that part of the conversation. But I feel like our goal is to do a better job at letting each of us talk more freely without talking over each other.
And I like what Rita said also, man, in the sense of if you and Lo are having a great conversation, right, a back and forth, a healthy conversation during the panel, and I'm sitting there, right, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna let them rock. I guess you gotta know your role, right? If they rock it out, having an intense conversation,
it get like that sometimes. You can tell, like, you know, when you're in the moment, you can tell when there's a debate happening and there's, you know, facts being thrown this way and facts being thrown that, and it's like you just gotta fall back and let it happen sometimes. But yeah, I do think people want to see a different dynamic on the panel than what it actually is, which is us going up there and debating and ranking.
So what's the process now, ladies? What's the date for WOTY again?
It will be at the end of March.
End of March, okay.
As you know, I don't know if everybody knows as of yet, but surveys are set to go out on Monday. If anything has changed, we will let you guys know. But as of right now, they're set to go out on Monday. So for everybody who donated, who've been hitting me up, going crazy, like, where's my survey? I've been checking my email every day. It's on the way. It's on the way.
So what do you ladies do now between now and end of March? You go back, look at your notes, go back and watch battles. How does it work? How you give it up?
I watched, just to give you an idea, this is how I prepare. I watched everybody on my list. I got 17 people.
Okay.
I watched every one of their battles. I did a bar break. I watched battles from the end of November up until the first week of February.
All right.
Then I organize along the way. I'm organizing all the information. I do a full bar breakdown. So I got a Word note, then I got an Excel sheet. I'm logging everything, calling the battles, making special notes. And then I do a point system. And I start my first list with a point system. That's just to give me an idea of what something could look like. And then I start rearranging them from there. I'm gonna be honest, this year was the hardest year. As far as it's gonna be some truths told this year.
We said last year too. We said last year was the hardest year of placing people.
No, this year was by
this year
far
got worse. This
year was
Look at Reda.
I organized all my girls. I organized the most difficult part of the list, that top 3. And I don't feel confident about it, to be honest. So it's not because I don't know it.
No,
it's just because you rank, you can literally toss all 3 of their names up to me.
It's a braid. You can braid that down, or you can unravel it. You can braid that down and unravel it. I want everything.
I can say bad things about each one. I can see great things about each one. I could make an argument for each one for WOTY. So I took a break. I'm on a break now. I got a list. I could debate my list. I could debate the girl that's on the top of my list right now.
Okay.
But I'm gonna wait probably mid-March. I'm gonna sit back down. I'm gonna do another pros and cons thing, because these awards are not popularity contests. You know what I mean? And I hear the little talks in the spaces about, and I hear how, people discuss their faves, not just the 3 girls at the top. I'm talking about their faves in general. And y'all don't be being honest a lot, Y'all like to have everything pass the eye test. And I put this under the microscope when I sit down. I'm very unbiased. I promise you. If you do who's at the top of my list, who's number 1, who's number 3, like how I got this organized, especially based on last year, I'm very unbiased when I sit down and do this. I want to pick the right person. That's my goal. My goal is to pick the person that I feel like most deserves it, not the person that is just the most popular. Not pick this person because this person isn't not pick this person because you don't know these people on their resume. You know what I'm saying? All of these different factors matter. And to be honest, it's not a robbery if any of them win to me, either one of them 3, because they worked that hard, all 3 of them, to be a part of that conversation, to make that list, to be talked about all year. We heard a lot of talk about them, and then the few potential Codys, you know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of hard work last year. It was some mess ups and some stuff we gonna have to nitpick it. When we get the nitpicking, I just want them to know it's all in love. You know what I'm saying? I don't want nobody to be offended. Because
we love you guys. We are very entertained, and it's nothing personal. I swear it's nothing personal.
It's nothing personal. It was a great year for them. They had, like I said, you could literally weigh their pros and weigh their cons and be like, I got coffee, I got jazz, I got hustle. And I'm not mad at you for whoever you pick, babe. Because between all 3 of them, it is very even on a lot. Bad and good. Because there's a lot of stuff that passed the eye test over here, might not pass it over here, but that hard work paid off over there too. It kept them up. So.
Reda, I would think though, let me ask you this question, that when y'all, both you ladies, this question, when you get to the 1, 2, and 3, don't you kind of have to nitpick though?
This year,
we have to nitpick every year.
Right.
I feel like when we get to 5, we get a lot more nitpicky. Then when we get to 3, it's over. Your pros
last year was a little easier.
Get thrown out there. Yeah, last year was easier.
Last year was kind of easier. I feel like
years,
it just.
And then this year right here, your pros and your cons will all get spoken about. All of it. Your
and I'm not gonna feel bad about
it. Your lows are your lows, and it is what it is. And that comes out to an average. And what is your average? We have to factor.
We gotta talk about everything. It's not just about. It's not just the accolades talk. You know what I mean? Every week we're
Again,
talking
this
about
is
you.
not an
That
award
means you
show.
exactly. If we're talking about you, that means you did the work to get there. But we do still got to sift through this work. You know what I mean? A lot of fans in the culture, they look at things surface level. You know what I'm saying? This is not a surface level
You don't
situation.
say
Y'all,
low. You don't say low.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like when they get to talking and all of this stuff, like I got a whole list. I got a whole section on my sheet that shows if you choked. It's an X on there. I'll know exactly what battle you choked. I wrote it in my notes. I'm gonna be able to tell you what round. So if we have to have those talks, I'm not gonna just be able to surface level and say this person battled all these people. They should be here. I know all of it.
Rounds and timestamps. We doing from
Baby,
22:39 to what are we talking about? We're running timestamps
I
and all that for accuracy. If it
I
gets
have the
down to the wire
accuracy.
like that, like we
Mhm.
got to
Oh,
have,
y'all
we
ain't
have to be
playing.
that meticulous,
Y'all ain't
especially
playing.
because we are women in this culture, a male-dominated
Mhm.
sport. We have to be super meticulous and
Mhm.
pick through every little thing. So yeah, those
Mhm.
type of little things, it matters.
It
Y'all
matters.
conscious
So
of that.
yeah, like y'all know who the people may have battled.
Right.
Y'all might can list a person's resume to me, but could you tell me what really happened in them battles? Because I broke the battles down. I broke the rounds down. I'm gonna be able to tell you how I felt in round one of this battle because I literally wrote the bars down that I liked and an
Mm-hmm.
opinion every round. I'm not like, and I prepared really good like this last year, but I wanted to be more detailed because the top three girls, you gonna have to nitpick them. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to have when we get up there, it's gonna sound like they didn't do as well as they did because everything
Yeah.
that we talk about distinguish them is gonna be the little bit of negative shit here and there that we gotta talk about. I gotta talk about this part. I don't, it's not to down you, but it's I gotta fight for the person, you know, like
Yeah.
we be trying not to offend people. Just know that.
So
It's
I'm gonna give you
tough.
some names. Rita and Low, 15 girls, right?
Correct. This
15.
year we are doing 15. I did not, I just want to be clear before people start asking a question. I do want to bump it up to 3 battle minimum for the year of 2024.
Okay.
When I'm looking at my spreadsheet, when I zoom out on my spreadsheet and I'm looking, because it's like color coded,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm seeing all this green, there's no good reason why we sitting at 2 for the minimum to qualify for WOTY. It's
Mm-hmm.
getting bumped up to 3. But I left it
Okay.
at 2 this year. It's going to stay at 2 for the year of 2023.
So next year, okay.
So
Okay.
next year, well, for this year, this
Yeah,
current year,
3.
it'll
Okay.
be 3 battles. But I just wanted to be clear on that so everybody knows like the rules and regulations and they're not like, oh, but I thought this and I thought that. So yes, we are doing 15, 2 battle minimum to qualify for the year of 2023.
Okay. I got some names there for you, ladies. You know, I know y'all can't really talk about it. I was gonna throw some names out to y'all, right?
Okay.
I got C Breather lyricist, Shooty the
Mm-hmm.
rapper, 40
Mm-hmm.
bars, Jade, C3,
Yeah.
Vixen the assassin, E Hart, Shayna Ashley, Chirac, First Lady Flames. I think the first year this lady's been inducted for if I watch WOTY every year. I got QB Black Diamond in there. Casey J, Coffee Jazz Hustle.
You don't got another first time WOTY top 15 participant on you? Or did I overhear was I not listening?
What's your name you said, sis?
You said QB for her first time being on the list.
Am I
But
wrong?
you don't have another young lady who is her first time?
Educate me, sister. My bad.
We'll talk about that later. We'll talk
Mm-hmm.
about that later.
My bad. Who I missed on, sis? Hustle, Jazz, Coffee, Casey, QB, Flames, Chirac, Shayna Ashley, E Hart, Vic, C3J.
Oh no. You good.
Gucci, I'm good. All right. So, you know, I'm gonna tell you right now. One person I'm interested to see where she ranks this year is Chirac. I want to see where I'm gonna put Chirac
I
at.
love Chirac's year.
I love
Shout
her
out
year
to
too.
her for having a year that she has, and also having a team behind her, Chilla, and what they're doing up there in New England with everybody up there is phenomenal. I love the
Yeah.
events that they've been having, and the push that they've been giving them. And I also feel like Chirac just being a newcomer, she's gotten some pretty decent battles so far. So I'm
Yeah, she had a good
excited to
year.
see where she going to rank too. Actually,
Yeah.
Were you ladies shocked how good Tony Blanco and Chirac was? How good that battle was?
I
were
like that
you?
battle.
I was. I thought it was gonna be messy though. I was
You
though.
thought it was gonna be messy.
I thought it was gonna be wild messy, but it was a dope.
They had a
battle.
little aggression. They had
It
a little
was wild
shoving
messy
match.
though.
That
It
it
was
was
wild
messy.
messy though.
But they
They
said on
talked. They
point to me,
they
Rita.
finished.
They
They
finished
finished.
It
clean. They
was,
finished
but
clean.
it was messy bars. Let's say it was messy
Yeah, it was
bars.
messy
We got
bars.
through the
Real
rap.
messy.
The
I
bars
like the
was
little.
messy. It
I
is
like
what
the
it
little
is.
messy
But
bars a little bit.
very,
I
it
like
was an
messy bars a little
entertaining
bit.
matchup. Very, I knew it was going to be entertaining though.
I like
Just
Tony
knowing what
Blanco.
Chirac brings to the table and then the flow that Tony have, I knew it was going to be
I want
a
to
pretty
see her
decent
outside
matchup.
more often. To be honest,
Who's that?
I
Tony,
like Tony.
Tony, right?
Yeah, I like her outside. She got a nice flow. I like how she sound. I like her demeanor. She can write too. Like she got some, her delivery, projection, aggression. Like she got all of that. Like I would like to see her outside a few times a year, like 3-round battles. You know what I'm
yes,
saying?
yes.
Also, another lady I'm interested also is Shayna Ashley because she bodied Tony, she bodied Tori Doe, and I had her beat in Rosenberg Raw clearly. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see where she gonna rank. She only had 2 battles out, if I'm right? Shayna Ashley, right? So I want to see where she's gonna be ranked at also and stuff like that. Another question I want to ask y'all though. Being that some of these ladies, Coffee, Jazz, and Hustle, was on Cody list, right? And the list and the ranking that they were where they were at. Isn't that kind of, if you're a fan and you see them on Cody like that, you're gonna think automatically they're gonna be the same pecking order for WOTY? If you have that kind of mind, that train of thought,
You
though?
know they do. Three. The thing
I'm
is,
asking y'all. I'm asking how y'all feel about that, man.
listen, because I done did
I'm
too
asking how
many
you feel about
interviews, and
that.
I'm
It's a
like,
big
Three,
question,
cut
y'all.
it out now. I did too many interviews. Three, cut it out. No, but nah, but of course they think there's a lot of people that's like, oh, we already know, and they did the same thing last year, and they were wrong last year,
Mhm.
right? So the order that the women were in on the Cody list was not the order that they ended up on the WOTY list. If y'all did not learn y'all lesson from last year or y'all knew, I would encourage people, which I might actually start sharing it. Actually, I might start sharing last year's WOTY debates, so people can see how they actually
You do
went.
that. You do
So
that.
people can go back and watch it and say, okay, I understand the process and what they did and how they got to where they got and why they say whatever Cody did ain't got nothing to do with what's going on over here.
Mm-hmm.
Got you.
And it's so crazy because it's a few of them that was on their rants after the Cody list saying that the way that the ladies placed on the Cody list is automatically how they're gonna place, or it would only make sense if they got placed that way. Like we not 6 different individuals that's gonna sit down on this panel and have our own debate. Respect to the fellas and how they place them, but that does not mean that that's how Rita's list is set up right now. That doesn't mean that's how my list is set up right now. We might be punching for 2 totally different people that do not match what's happening on that list, because that's how close these ladies' year was. And if you look at them, you got 2 of them that's separated by 1 slot, and then the other one is just down just a few more. So they all punching right there. You know what I'm saying? Like
the other thing I like to note is that shout out to the guys again for what they're doing over there, how they're placing the women, but I don't feel like they really, really, really get in depth with the women's years because of where they're placed. They don't really have to get too in depth with their years because it's number 11. You go over the resume, some highs and lows, but we're not going into breaking down the actual battles, who said what versus who, which moment was more monumental versus the comparisons aren't being done to that very, small level, to all the little microscopic things that's going on in a year. So I do feel like people, need to understand that part a little bit too. Like they not really breaking down their years the same way we about to do this. So
right. And especially when we get to the top of that list.
that's not a shot at the men, but that's only
you gotta
because
think
of
about it.
that's
They
because of
break
where
it
they're
down.
placed on the
That's
Cody
where they
list. If they
place.
were
They're
placed
gonna be at the
if they
top
were
of our
placed
list.
5 or up, I would expect them to debate, and have more lengthy debates about where they're placed if they were, in the 5 or up spot. But because they're being placed at, 11, 12, 13, like in that range, I mean, you're placing them there because they had a pretty good year. but you're not placing them higher because of certain things, and that has to be spoken on too. And then, you know, they move on.
Okay.
Yeah. Like by the time we get to those 3 ladies on the list, we're in full pick this year apart mode. You know, we're gonna discuss the highs and the lows. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Unless we all
Because
agree again, child.
and I honestly, because of how close they are, I don't see it happening. I don't see us having the
You never
majority.
know. I thought last year we was gonna get into it, and that thing said nope, agreeance, and I said, wow.
No, see, that's what I'm saying. Last year to me, it just felt like it said itself. Like it wasn't really. I'm talking about as far as the first two, because we debated the hell out the other part of the list for the most part. Like
Oh yeah.
the other part of the list is pretty lengthy debate. It was just that top 2. Like it was just kind of like once we placed 3, it was just kind of like, okay, this is where they are, because even the fans voted them that way. So it made perfect sense. It wasn't even like we had to debate. The fans had already agreed.
Women being on Cody, a lot of conversations. Oh, why they should? A lot of the guys feel that the woman should not be. What is y'all take on that though?
I think the women do need their own personal shine, right? Because the women are not getting the same amount of opportunities. We're building here. We're building up to where the ladies are, you know, looked at as equals. But right now it's still not there. We don't have as many women battling. They're not getting the same amount of opportunities, the same looks. They're not, you know, battling as often or as much. So they do deserve their own personal shine. However, if you've been great enough to stand amongst the men and be mentioned amongst the men in every way, shape, form, or fashion, then why would we deny them that opportunity of being on both lists?
But a woman has always made the list.
I know. We know
Like
this.
I'm not even saying that to the people in the back. A woman has always made the list. You know what I mean? It's just y'all, they're making that more now. You know what I'm saying? They punching up that list better because of the list being created. I feel like it is also another driving force for them. Number 1, to stay booked and busy. Number 2, it's an accolade for them. It's something that they could talk about, something that they could strive for. You know what I'm saying? Just like with the champion of the year list, it's something for everybody to strive for. Jay Black never said that this award was specifically for the men. And a woman has always made the list. And think about it. Think about how hard them 3 ladies had to work just to make that list. The next woman that would potentially make that list probably doesn't get mentioned till like number 30 or 40. Like all of that gap is the reason that WOTY was created, so that the women who can't keep up with the men's list can still be mentioned because they still had good years. The year that Vixen won, she had they had a great year. You know what I mean? They didn't make the men's list, but it would have been unfair to not mention that year when they was both. They had a crazy
shout out to
year.
Vixen because they did actually debate her that year for the number 20 spot, if I'm not mistaken. Like there was a bit of a debate about her being in the number 20 spot. So
yeah, you're right.
like, you know, that stuff happens, but debating about her being in the number 20 and she not making it, and then maybe no women make the list, like,
and then she wins.
the women still need they shine, right?
Like,
the women still need they shine at the end of the day.
So she got that. She get to walk around with that accolade all year. She gets to be the person to battle, meaning that the next person can build their resume off of her accolade. You know what I mean? That by the end of the year, we had a WOTY versus potential WOTY. Who should have won last year versus who should have won, you know, a whole thing. And by the end of that year, because of that, that means that we got to set up a whole match based on the fact that a WOTY battle happened. In a good match too. You know what I'm saying? They got to build up for the whole, like, come on now. Like it makes sense. It gives the women the same thing that it gives everybody else, but the women just don't make that list as much. And it's not to a fault of their own. This is a male-dominated sport. Like it's a male-dominated sport. You know what I'm saying? The majority of, and what's crazy is even male or female in this sport as a fan, a lot of people have men and women on their favorite battlers list. Like you know what I'm saying? The women are gaining the attention that they deserve. They're getting better matches, but this is something that helps them. It helps all of them, not just the maybe 5 that have the potential to make the champion of the year list.
Jazz Hustle not happening this year. How much does that hurt, you think?
Hurt who or what?
I guess for you guys, it'll be easy for you guys if they battle
It
this year.
didn't. I don't think it would have made anything any easier for us. I mean, it is a rematch, so it's one of those things where it's like if it never happens again, that's fine. But I understand the excitement right now with them kind of being 1 and 2.
Right.
For a lot of people. That they want to see that matchup right now, and there are a lot of new fans as well who have no idea, like they battled way back when, and
but you know they though Reda, it was incomplete though, sis.
I wouldn't say. Here's the thing, right? Because when you go back and watch it, it's not a caffeine broadcast, right? So it's not the clearest quality and things like that, but that's the essence of battle rap for me. Like I want to see dingy cameras and gritty stages and crowds, and I don't want it to be. It doesn't have to be crystal clear and in HD for me to like thoroughly enjoy it. The audio doesn't have to be completely perfect for me to enjoy it. I just turn the volume up. I'm from the old school, so I don't need all of that to be thoroughly entertained by a battle or to be able to understand and break down what's going on.
Some of my favorite battles is janky. I'm not gonna
That's what I'm saying. Like when I think about some of my favorite battles,
some of my favorite battles
the audio
is some
be
of them
going
old
out,
janky Queen of the Ring battles. them be the I don't know. I do agree to a point. Like I do like good quality battles, but I mean the pit style feel look like you recorded on an iPhone. We hate it, but like you gonna get a good battle. That environment cultivates good battles.
I agree to a degree, ladies.
When you start giving them the glitz and the glamour, and you start putting them big stages and them big lights in front of them.
I don't think it was a good battle overall, though, man. It wasn't like a battle. That's why I always want to get a rematch. And listen, I don't know how y'all feel about this. Also, I feel Coffee not getting Couture. I wish that battle would have happened. Also.
Yeah, I do want that to happen.
I did.
Now, that's something I do want to happen.
Yeah, I want that battle to happen a lot, man. Jesus Lord.
Yeah, that one hurt. That one hurt. That one hurt not to happen, but
that would definitely would have been a big thing for Coffee this year. That would have been big talks. It was already gaining momentum once the second battle was announced. It was like, whoa, what is going on here? This is what she really doing, but things happen.
Yeah, that would have been a hefty weekend. Just to see her get through that weekend would have been kind of like the talk. It's sad it didn't happen, but at least that we know it's gonna happen eventually. We know we're gonna get the battle.
Ladies, how much does strength of schedule play a part for you guys? For you ladies?
For me, strength of schedule. Okay, so let me break this down, right?
Talk to me.
In order to battle, you have to battle someone, right? Well, who is that someone? So that's like the starting point. You're not writing bars. You're not doing nothing without someone to battle. And how heavily do I weigh that? I try my best to keep it even, but it's no way you can keep that even with a lot of other things in the breakdown, because who are you battling actually matters a lot. It really does. If you get bodied by somebody who only battled twice, but you're like a super vet, that matters. Like, I don't want to just use the good side of things, like, oh, you battled such and such and you did really good. No, if you battle somebody who's only battled twice and literally has no name, hasn't really done anything for real as far as like putting in work and battling and seeing different people, and they body you as a vet that people know is super good, that matters. So yeah, who you're battling is number one, because otherwise you wouldn't be writing bars.
Strength of schedule to me is also just a little more than who you battling. It's where you battling them, what type of battle,
absolutely.
3 rounds,
the environment,
1 round,
and all of that.
Big stage, small stage. It's a difference between
if it's a 3 round 330, 3 round 90-minute. What we doing?
It's a difference between Coffee battling twerk on the big stage versus Jazz battling twerk in a smaller room. Not saying that we're gonna have like one higher than the other, but there's a difference. It's a clear difference. You know what I'm saying? In a private room versus a open to the public room. You know what I'm saying? That's a big difference. So strength of schedule to me is not just who you battled on paper. It's where you battled them. Was you a main event? Like all of that kind of play a part in your strength of schedule. Did you have a 3-round battle? Like she said, to timing. Was it 90 seconds? Was it 3 minutes? That's a big deal because the light works last year. That was a thing.
Not only that, shout out to Remy. She's been doing like 90-second rounds. So it's like if they not 3 minutes, 3:30, that gets weighed in.
Or at least that 2 minute, like 2.5. Like 90 seconds is light. We get some 1-rounders that's 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So like, his round was 10 minutes and 90-second round is really not that much. So all of that goes in the strength of schedule. It's heavily thought about when I'm making my list, like when I'm grading them on strength of schedule. It's not just whose name appears. It's like also kind of all the other little things too.
Let's be honest, ladies. Out of the 3 ladies, that's Coffee, Jazz, and also y'all only got to really deal with 2 ladies that's gonna be tight if they don't win.
You say what?
There's only gonna be 2 ladies in the top 3 that's gonna be tight if they don't win.
No, there's gonna be somebody.
I feel like they all gracious and they all have the ability to be. I don't think that I'm gonna be honest.
It's gonna be somebody at number 8. It's gonna be somebody at number 6. It's gonna be somebody who felt like, why was I not top 5 or top 3, and why am I at number 7? And we broke that down if you watched it. So
I think the top 3 ladies, I think all 3 of them should be able to look at each other and see that it's a potential that any of them could win. I think that as long as we have the conversation in full, listen, we can hope. Number one, Jazz never is mad, bro.
That's the
Jazz is never mad. You listen, Coffee Brown. I don't know what type of like how other people view her. She's very gracious to me too. And like she has issues with a particular person, is that person. It's not just the way she acts all the time type of thing. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Hustle is a logical woman. I feel like, that Scorpio, we be a little different. We may not be as articulate with our emotions. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like all 3 of them should be able to look at each other, see what each other did. And as long as we as the panel have the conversation properly and we get through everything good, everything bad, we mention everything, I would hope that none 3 of them have a fit,
Do me a favor when you get a chance, right? I'm going to send you my interview I did with Coffee about a month ago. And I just want to see if we still share that same sentiment.
Okay, did she go? This is the thing. I know Coffee can go off, and I know Coffee will if she have to. But I just don't. I don't view her as just a person that's like a troublemaker or carry that energy. She can if she got an issue, she can. But I feel like she's also
Coffee has always been amazing towards me. In particular, and I can always say that even after the panels, like I'm very open with having a dialogue with people, just a one-on-one type of thing, or even whenever I see you at an event, whatever, we can discuss WOTY, because I understand people have their ways of feeling about it, and we might not always get to chop it up in the spaces or on a live or something like that. So when I see you, we can definitely discuss it. And I give my phone number out, all kinds of stuff. But Coffee has always been, number one, willing to discuss WOTY, and then also willing to give like some great feedback. So that's another thing that I love. I speak to the battle rappers about that, so I can get that good feedback and what we need to improve on in their eyes. And she's always been willing to do that. She's never given me like an issue, or I've never felt like she was a bad girl or like she's the bad guy or attacking us, or she's amazing. Let me say that. She's amazing. I love her.
That sister came back, battled twerk. We know the situation with that. And after that, she didn't look back after that, boy. She did not look back after that. Girl has been on a mean run. You know what I'm saying? God bless your heart for WOTY. God bless your heart for WOTY. I love my sisters though. But WOTY.
Dang.
It's gonna be interesting this year. I'm interested
Absolutely.
to see how the other ladies place them because, like I said, I finished my list. I checked. I did all the prep I could do. You know what I mean? And I didn't necessarily feel that confident about where I placed, them. And so it was like, I'm a sit this aside for a few weeks because I've been constantly since November to February watching battles, and so I was all battled out. And I'm gonna do one more pros and cons list because I like to look at the whole argument. I want to see what they gonna be able to say. If I pick somebody, I want to be able to see what you're gonna say that's bad about them. So I'm gonna try to list all pros, all cons, and just try to see again. But they close.
Reda, are you pretty much finished with your list?
I'm pretty much finished. I'm the top is like that very last piece of the puzzle for me, and then the bottom as well, right? The very bottom of the list. So that number 15, 14 spot, that right there. There's still a few people that I'm like, I'm switching it around every other day. Like, but oh my God, this person said this and did this, and this happened or that. Like every other day, I'm switching that around too. So I'm pretty much done. I got a few more battles that I need to like rewatch and like really take my time and watch them in different ways, right? Kind of watch it just to enjoy it in a sense instead of like breaking it down because I broke them down so many times that it's like I just need to sit back and watch it to enjoy it again. Like maybe the first time I watched it and see where I feel from that stance on it. Because sometimes being too analytical when you're watching the battle is not always enjoyable. You're not always enjoying the battle at the same time. So I think that my ending of my list is very, very, giving me some issues right now. It's very difficult to place people in those spots because there are a lot of people that like I think Loda said she had like 17 people. I watched 20 people's battles. So I'm just every day that's an extra 5 people that's just sitting. Some of them are, there's a few of them that's chopped, but there's another few of them that's like, you could be 15 and 14, or I'm just they switching every day.
Is it more like this, ladies, that you have people's names and then you have their opponents, and then you have to? Is that how you guys do? You got to jot it down like that way. Is that one way of doing it when you're doing your pecking order? Or write on the battles, win loss, how they did in this battle. Okay, I'm gonna put her at 15. I got her at 12. I got her at 10.
I think everybody do theirs different.
Mm-hmm.
I have a spreadsheet that's color coded and things like that.
Spreadsheet, you ain't playing, boy.
Yeah, and like, most of my notes are in there, but I like a good visual. I like to be able to just glance and know 5 facts like that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I put together a pretty good spreadsheet this year that I'm gonna use, but everybody has their own things. The previous years I wrote everything that I had. I was just like Tata. I had all my stuff in paper. I was writing, and I still did write this year. To be clear, I still have a book that I wrote everything down in this year, and then I just kind of transfer things into a spreadsheet. But
I have a whole Google
Shit.
Doc.
Y'all girls are my
Like,
ladies. I ain't saying y'all are very detail oriented more than us anyway.
this line right here, this yellow one. If you choked, it's an X in that box next to your name. And I can talk about it.
Do you guys spar? Do you ladies spar throughout the years? Get each other up and spar and dig each other's brain and see where you at with yours? Is that?
We had a meetup. We
I
had a
was gonna
Zoom
say
meeting this year. Yeah.
this year we did do that. We did take advice from people who said like we should probably do something mid-year. However, it is not made public. This was something for us to get a sense of where we're at, and also for us to go back on if we need to. If just because of recency bias, things like that tend to happen throughout the year, and then we're also now into a whole nother year. We're about to be into quarter 2 of a whole nother year. So it's sometimes you can get a little confused and things like that. So we definitely did that this year. We had a mid-year meetup, and I think for the most part, I think we all were pretty shocked by a few different people's takes on things, which was interesting, but also eye-opening at the same time.
Okay. All right. And also categories, lady. We got Woman of the Year, Battle of the Year, Performance of the Year, Body of the Year, Round of the Year, right? Same thing with the gentleman, right? Okay. All right. Donations, how's donations looking?
Donations is looking good. We're almost at 3K if we haven't reached 3K yet. Shout out to everybody who has
Shout out to
donated
everybody.
already. Because shout out to y'all. I believe it was 2,200 that was raised in a day.
Mhm.
So shout out to everybody who donated that day. We do need to keep the donations up. We are so far on par to out donate what Cody did. So if we keep it up and we stay on pace, the goal right now is 9,000, but if we stay on pace, we should be able to reach very close to that goal. And
$5.
again, yes,
$5.
$5 is the minimum for donations. And again, surveys are going out on Monday. So and also surveys get sent to your email. So please make sure it is a valid email that you have access to, and you will be able to get the survey and do the survey. Battle rappers, please, please, please make sure you are promoting this, because after the fact, when you do not win Body of the Year, Round of the Year, like all these accessory awards, if you're not in the coat check and we have to put you into the top 15, it's because your people don't know what's going on, and you have to promote to your people. If this is something that matters to you.
Campaign.
Yes.
Every day I see Jazz on the timeline saying, vote for Casey for this, vote for Casey for that.
Yes.
Like, shout out to Jazz. I was going to say she has
Jazz.
been like the last 2 years, actually like the last 2 or 3 years. She's been like the one leading the ranks
She
for
do a good
promotion
job.
for WOTY. She's been doing a great job, whether it's for her or her friends. So shout out to her for just promoting overall to make sure not only she gets placed in a certain spot, all her promo right now is for Casey. Like, she's not even talking about herself. All hers is for Casey. So
it is.
Make sure y'all get y'all fans involved. Get y'all fans understanding what's going on. Let them know that they have an opportunity in their
y'all
voice.
Supposed to be getting them excited about it. See,
yes,
y'all
their voice matters.
The culture be so focused on the negative that they can't wait to be mad about who we pick. And instead of, and y'all battlers be encouraging that instead of sharing the link saying, make sure y'all go vote for me. I mean, I want to win this for this battle. I had this battle. Make sure y'all go watch this battle too. You could be promoting your battle that you want to win this for, and promoting this and changing how the culture views the awards. And because if y'all co-sign the negative, that's what they're going to do. Because a lot of times they're being negative because they want to get a retweet, a like, a comment. They want to get saw and they want to get seen by their favorite battle rapper. So they campaigning all the negative shit.
Finish your food, yo. Finish your food.
Y'all could simply do what Jazz is doing. Y'all could simply just be like, hey, I had that round against such and such. Like, vote for me for that. Remember that battle I did really good in. Vote for me for that. Like, no, instead y'all want to be like, y'all know you gonna pick Jazz number one because she fell number one on the Cody list. Like, Jesus Christ.
That's not, it's just not helpful. It's just not helpful.
It's not
and
helpful.
I also want to remind people that Big K just won Cody with 3% of the fan
It was
3%.
Votes.
It was 5 votes. To be clear, five people. So that means that if maybe
it could have been
$25
$25
in the other direction, it would have went. We're talking about very slim margins here that we end up breaking this down to when we break down these percentages. So it is very important that y'all get y'all people involved, because after the fact, there's a lot of I don't care in me, because I don't see no promotion. I don't see you asking your people, do y'all remember that? I don't even see you promoting your year at the end of the year or around this time of the year, knowing that this is going on. So it's, I just want the battle rappers to promote before they attack. Promote before you attack.
I'm gonna make sure.
I've been seeing some of y'all. But do what Jazz doing. Tell the fans, and you encouraging them to vote and drop their $5. They're gonna vote for you. And like or whoever you told them to, if you cool with somebody in the culture and you really truly believe that that person should win a specific award, tell your people to $5. Everybody got $5. I promise you. And that can, number one, is going to get the pot up, but it's going to get more votes in for the things that y'all want people to vote for you and your friends.
All right. Ladies, I appreciate y'all. Y'all gave me a lot here to work with, man. But I'm going to make sure I do my part. And also, the last part Rita said there, y'all were talking about, I want to make sure I attach that part to the people who I think, the 15 ladies. I'm going to make sure I get that part out to them. Please campaign, like Lo said. Please.
Campaign.
You know what I mean? Lo, Rita, I appreciate y'all sisters very much, man.
Appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
Love.
Thank you
Shout out to
for having me.
Rita. Shout out to Lo, man. I know the fuck